Welcome to Talk Theory. It's your host, Kiara Barnes, where I talk all things life, what makes us human, and what makes us superhuman. Sit back, relax, and join me for a chat. Hello, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Talk Theory. Let me adjust my mic here. Guess what, folks? It's my birthday. I love that sound effect so much. Well, technically, tomorrow is my birthday, but I love my birthday, and I've been celebrating it for the past week or so. It's my pre-birthday celebration, but I'm really excited. Definitely in a good mood. And it's been such a whirlwind of a year for me, and a lot of things have changed, and a lot of things have newly introduced themselves, which has been, an entire experience in itself. And, it's actually what inspired today's episode. Honestly, a few things really have, and we'll get into that. But first, I just want to, before we really start getting into this episode, because it's a little deep, in a good way, fun way. I just want to thank my listeners for, listening. It's been really, really cool to see the numbers and how quickly the podcast has grown and the amount of listeners tuning in. So just thank you for listening. Thanks for, anyone, and feel free if you want to, if you feel so inclined to leave a review on wherever you're listening to this, I guess. Yeah. It's very, very appreciated. And, I just want to say thanks. I'm really feeling the love. Thanks for sharing these episodes. And just means more than you could really know, because I started this not really knowing where, just knowing that I wanted to start it, and that it, was fulfilling for me to share my real life experience and hopefully bring some peace to someone's life, and so it's really cool to see in real time the expansion of this podcast. I'm excited to see where it goes, Let's continue the journey. Okay. Anyway, jumping back into today's chat, I want to talk about how you're in the right place. Forewarning, I just watched the new Spider-Man. Okay, so it's the expansion of the Miles Morales story, the animation. I believe this is the second movie that they've done for this. And let me tell you, as an adult watching this, it's a deep movie, if you're, and I will say this about Marvel, I wasn't the biggest fan, there's certain aspects of the franchise that I didn't really totally care too much for, but it was actually until I watched Doctor Strange that I was really blown away by Marvel. And even the Eternals, that's a very, very deep movie. Basically anything that really plays with the metaphysical or frequencies, energy, quantum jumping, time loops, manifesting, all of that stuff. It's so interesting. And it's definitely right up my alley. And if that's up your alley, I would say definitely go check out this movie. Very good watch. Anyhow, a lot of the meat of the storyline and what's just going on in general um, was about how do you know if you're making the right decision? Like, how do you know if you're on your path or if you're off your path? And it just got me thinking because it's a very interesting topic in itself. And, I mean, well, at least for me, when my birthday comes around, it's definitely, I take the time to do introspection of just noticing, how far I've come and all the things that have happened. I think most people probably do. Time of reflecting back and seeing, you know, where you are now versus when you started a year ago. So, and I think that most of us in general can relate when it comes to our own personal life. I think it's easy to feel very out of control because in a lot of ways, most things are out of our control, and you just have to let things play out however they play out and learn how to navigate or go along with this newness, even if it seems uncomfortable at first. Because the thing about this is, and what I realized after watching that movie was there is no wrong choice. Even when you think you've made the wrong choice, you've actually made the perfect choice to get you to where you are. And if you think about it, you are where you are right now because you had the desire at some point to be somewhere, right? To work somewhere, to have maybe even a particular look or style, particular car, home, whatever it is. At some point you had the idea from some kind of experience, and everything else that happened, even if it's, a good feeling moment or perceived bad feeling moment, all of those things happen to bring you to where you are right now, to have what it is that you have, be who it is that you are right now, so there's no actual wrong choice. So where am I here? Okay. So you know how they say in manifesting, when you've made the desire, it's already done. That once you think of it, it's out there floating. Okay. That's truly because I'm trying to not get too heady with this, but it's such I think a topic in itself. So bear with, but when folks say that in the manifesting world, it is because it's done. A path has been laid out for you to get to that point, right? The path looks exactly however it's looking for you at this current moment. That is the path. Me talking to you is part of my path right now. This is just what I'm supposed to be doing right now to get me to whatever I want. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I have a very good understanding and idea of what it is that I want. But this is part of that unfolding. And so whatever you're going through is actually what's supposed to be happening, right? And this is where the trust and the whole let go happens. When you can let go of needing to know how and realize that the how is actually unfolding in front of you right now, not even in front of you, like you are the unfolding, you'd have so much more capacity to just relax and let things that are meant to come into your life to come in and give you that ease, give you those solutions, give you the context, whatever it is. But I think the biggest thing to realize and accept is that once you've asked for something, the unfolding starts immediately. Immediately. Every single choice that you make and do and say is the unfolding. You are the unfolding. It's kind of like having a what I don't know what would be a good reference of this, of like basically having like, like an air tag or something on, right? Like, and you're the closer you get to it, it just continues to beep. Like there's something inside you, what I'm trying to say, these analogies today. Something inside you is energetically always running and has its own pace of frequency and momentum charged to it already. So every choice that you make is in alignment with that energy within you. I hope you guys are staying along for this. But like I said, knowing that the unfolding starts immediately. And so when you're making choices that feel best for you, and I mean feel, because it's not always, you know what I mean, with the overthinking side of you, but it's really what feels right, what your gut says, and listening to that and just letting it show you where to go. Also, even if you don't listen to your gut or know how to decipher from, your gut and just an intrusive thought, it's okay, because your choice of doing that will eventually lead you back to being more connected to yourself through a series of events, which in turn means that whatever it is that you're desiring is still gaining momentum in that direction, meaning you're still in the process. You're still in the unfolding. And that should give you the most peace in the world, to know that you can't mess it up. As long as you keep picking up to what calls you, as long as you continue to want and strive to become better and experience better, you'll receive everything and more. And look, folks, I got to be honest too, because I had one of those, oh my gosh, really bad days last week. It was like one thing after a freaking another, and I just hit a breaking point. I was crying, I had some anger that was built up, and, I let it out. I threw my little fit, had a little fit for however long, and then I allowed myself to decompress. And honestly, I went to bed. I was tired. I went to bed instead of fighting it. But the thing is, as soon as I got up, the next day, I immediately started writing down my thoughts and feelings. I didn't mask it. I didn't get on TikTok right away, started scrolling through social media to distract me. I sat up and started writing. And let me tell you, this helps so much. Getting stuff out of your head first thing in the morning feels so good. And then I meditated right after and then wrote again. And this helps so much. So it helps so much that I started doing this in general. Just first thing when I wake up, start writing before I even get to my meditation, because I've noticed it gives my brain so much more real estate to breathe. And also it's been helping me lock into my meditations a lot faster and just overall more smooth. But this is just, anyway, this is what I'm talking about. And what I talk about all the time is letting yourself feel things out so you can get to the next feeling state. But if you're frustrated or angry and don't express that or get it out through some kind of, outlet that's healthy, whether it be writing, going on a walk, maybe confiding in someone. For me, I called my parents. I'm lucky that I have them, and I'm lucky that they hung in while I express what I was feeling and just let me get it out so that I could get to a better feeling state. And I'm so glad that I did and that they did, because the next day I knew, first off, it was just instant relief. Like as soon as I got it out, I was feeling relief and ease, even during me expressing that anger because I wasn't holding it in, or expressing that upset because I wasn't holding it in. So I was feeling immediate relief. So I'm really glad I did, because the next day I knew I wouldn't be subjected to that energy or bringing that into the new day, which is why I made sure to write as soon as I woke up, to give myself a chance to be in a different state of mind that would be uplifting and kind. And yeah, that day was 100% better than the day before, but it was also slow. I didn't rush myself. I let myself just do the things I needed to do. Did not put any sense of pressure on myself. I just listened. I just listened to myself. And that doesn't mean that, you need to take your day slow or process. I'm talking about, I just had to listen to how I was feeling to get through that. And like I said, I didn't pressure myself to do 1,000 different things and still bringing all that energy in of the day before. That's what I mean when I say, and when I talk about being intentional and present with yourself. It's not wrong to feel these emotions, or let them even affect you. We're humans. It's definitely part of our process to feel all kinds of emotions while we're alive, right? That's the thing. So let yourself feel those feelings. Let yourself be a human. And you know what? That day was supposed to happen anyways, because the days following were so great and gave me so much introspection that I'm honestly grateful for that day now. And of course, at the time, it didn't feel great. No one feels amazing when things that are unsatisfactory are happening to them, right? Like, no one likes that. But now, being away from that current moment, that I was feeling all of that happening, I can gain so much more context and understanding for my own personal growth, which brings us full circle back to the Spider-Man stuff we were talking about. All in all, there is no wrong choice or feeling. It's all part of the plan. It's all leading you to where you're meant to be. You don't need to fear the unknown, because ultimately the unknown knows. And that's enough. We don't have to do much but trust that the unfolding that's happening in our lives, whatever or however it may look like, is exactly what it's meant to look like. And it's all bringing you to where you're meant to be and where you're meant to go. We can't see how things will exactly look, but we can choose to navigate through our feelings the best that we can. We can't make that a choice. Okay, folks. You guys are like, whoa, all right. That was a Monday podcast. All right. The theory this week is, when you declare trust in your path, you also declare trust in internal peace. When you declare trust in your path, you also declare trust in internal peace. What I mean by this is, when you let go of the how and trust in the way everything's unfolding in the current moment, you will be able to feel the sweet relief of peace, knowing that everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. There's no rush. There's no clock to beat. You know, you're right on time. And there's nothing left for you to do but just be. Alrighty, folks. That's all I've got for you today. I hope that you've had a really good week. I guess that you have a good week going into this new week. And I'm really looking forward to chatting with y'all next week. Okay, love you. Bye.